Lights.
Camera.
Maction.
Hello and welcome to a new episode of $1 Million Medium. My name is Max Kellerholz, and with me today I have...
Aleah Price.
Hi, I'm Karin.
I'm John. He's here to talk about some stuff.
I'm Ice.
Hi, my name is Donovan.
I'm Kyah.
And today we're going to be talking about more anime, because this is the second week of Anime April. So, Aleah, Saiki?
Yeah, Saiki.
Saiki?
Saiki.
Saiki.
Mm-hmm.
Like Psyche?
Mm-hmm.
Finally got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, so, describe it.
So, the Disastrous Life of Saiki K is an anime that I don't think it's a Netflix original, but it ended up on Netflix. It's about this boy. He's a sophomore in high school. His name is Kusuo Saiki, and he has psychic powers. And it's just like, it feels like a comedy, sort of like slice of life of like every episode he gets in like a new situation. The only people who know he has psychic powers are his parents and his older brother, who doesn't have psychic powers and is really jealous of him. So, at some point, that arc kind of shows up where they like have conflict, but it's just like each episode isn't connected. It's just different each time.
Nice. Well, what do you specifically like about this show? Because you wanted to talk about it, so I want to hear what you specifically like about it. Like, do you like the characters, the animation, the story?
For me, I really like the characters, especially Saiki, because he's hilarious. Like, there's the subbed and the dubbed version. I'm a sub person, by the way. Don't come at me. But, he doesn't speak out loud, but he speaks his thoughts, so it's like an inner monologue, sort of.
Mm-hmm.
Sort
Narration, almost.
of like an inner narration. So, again, the only people who can hear those thoughts are his parents and his older brother. And he can read minds also, but it's funny because the one person he can't read the mind of is his best friend. I forget his name, but he calls him Aibo, which is like... Partner, yeah, like partner, friend, so like... Because he's like so stupid that he can't read his mind is literally what he says.
Ah, perfect.
Which is crazy. I'm trying to think of what else I really like about that show.
Well, first I should ask, when did this come out? Or like, was it relatively recent? Well, if it's on Netflix, it's probably more relatively recent, right?
Like 2016, so like 6
Oh.
years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's probably got that new, like, fresh, clean kind of look to it, where like all
Yeah.
the lines are very...
Like it feels like this is the poster photo.
Oh yeah, well, for those listening.
Sorry, you can't see. Let me show you through the mic.
Yeah, well, for those watching, you'll probably see the same poster.
If you look it up, it's like very bright.
Are they wearing the Squid Game thing?
No, it's their uniforms. Yeah, it just feels very like the colors are bright and keeps my attention, so I don't get bored. Why are you laughing? Karin? Don't laugh.
Pretty colors.
No, literally, like, I mean, there's some animes that have like darker palettes,
Yeah.
which is fine because it fits like the theme and genre of the show. But like, Saiki K is just like a comedy, so I guess with comedies you can also do darker colors. It's a dark comedy, but this one is very like goofy, like slice of life type.
Sounds like a fun one. Like, is there any specific non-spoilery moments you want to talk about the show?
I will say there are a few times where he goes back in time.
What? Wait, what?
Like, he has, like, his powers go beyond mind reading and,
Oh no.
like, levitation, telepathy. Like, he has, like, all sorts of powers. So, like, every episode is something different, which is very exciting. So...
I was like, oh cool, another like simple show about how, maybe someone just has these mind reading powers.
Yeah.
And now it's time travel, another time travel scenario. I don't know if that turned me more onto the show or made me really want to get away
It's
from
not
the
like
show.
every episode. It's like more in like season 2 and 3
Okay.
it comes up.
Alright. Okay.
So
Okay, well, I'll...
don't anticipate every episode him like going back in time.
Okay, so it's not Back to the Future. Got it. Alright, so is that all you gotta say about Saiki?
Yeah, that's about it, honestly.
Alright, well. Karin,
Okay.
you're gonna talk about Violet Evergarden first.
Okay, so Violet Evergarden is mostly about Violet Evergarden. This is the main character of this anime. So Violet Evergarden used to be soldier, and also she searched for her life purpose and try to understand what is love through the anime. And Violet Evergarden was abandoned and nameless child. She was founded by Navy officer. His name is Dietfield. Oh, I don't know how to pronounce in English, but Dietfield. And she was placed to be tool in the army, so she was not treated as like human. And then, but the one guy, his name is Gilbert. So who is the only one who really valued Violet? He also in the army, and then he really take care of her. Yeah, and okay, so Violet becomes like a person who follows him, and he learned how to do everything in life from him.
Mm-hmm.
And then Violet Bergen has kind of having special feelings about him.
Mm-hmm.
And in the last battle of the war, so Gilbert got fatally injured, and Violet also lost her arms, and Gilbert forced her to leave battlefield. And the night before the big battles came, then he told that he wanted her to be free and live happily, not as two in the army. And then Gilbert said to her, "I love you," and then he didn't come back on the word. Then he's considered to be died. But Violet was not informed he died, and he believes he's still living in somewhere. And Violet Evergarden tried to understand what his last message. So I love you. She doesn't understand what the I love you mean. So she tries to understand what the love means, and what he's saying. Yeah, I think that's all.
That's the general.
Yeah, it's not kind of the story about the first episode.
Oh, that's just the first episode?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Holy shit.
It's very complicated. And then she gradually grow up through her job. So her job it's called All the Memory Dolls. It's like the job to like help people to write the letters.
Oh, okay.
And then she
I was gonna say like halfway through your reading over your notes you have there, I was like, is she spoiling the whole show? Like, well, not. But now you're saying that's just the first episode. Like,
No. I don't know. I don't want to be a spoiler. This is the first episode.
No. I was just like, whoa. Then when you said that, I was like, whoa, that's a lot for the first episode. And that sounds pretty interesting. So the main character's name is Violet Evergarden.
Yeah, Violet Evergarden.
Okay, got it. Okay, because you were just saying that a lot. I was just like, oh, that's the name. I thought it was just like another title. I didn't know that was like the actual character's name. But that's cool. All right, what? I'm just trying to like piece together because that was a lot for the first episode.
Sorry, I said too much.
No. You're perfectly fine. What do you specifically like about this show? Because you wanted to talk about it.
First of all, the character design and the pictures are really beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
So this anime was made by Kyoto Animation. It's a very famous anime company in Japan. So they made a really beautiful anime. So yeah, I really like the design of character.
Mm-hmm.
The second, the story is also like very tragic, but also makes me so like emotional and it's so sad and make me cry.
It's the good kind of cry. Like I understand what you mean. Yeah.
So we like find out how Violet Evergarden become a human and learn the emotion and expression. So will be like kind of a balance for her, like through this episode.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds very sweet. I've heard a lot of people talk about this show, especially when it's like if you want to cry, watch Violet Evergarden.
That's what Kiara and Karin said.
Yeah.
Like, you'll probably cry from it, and like, I'm not a big crier. Like, I think I probably will cry over Thesis before I cry over this show, so we'll see, though.
You heard it here, audience. We're putting her to the test. Could I ask what the style of animation is? Because you said it's very colorful and very pretty character designs. Is there... Alright. It was by Kyoto Animation?
Yeah, Kyoto Animation.
Alright. What else have they done?
What else? Like,
I don't know. Like, what other stuff have they done? I don't know.
oh, Kyoto Animation?
Uh-huh.
Okay, what they made? I don't
Yeah,
know.
what other anime have they made? Or things have
They
they made?
made Karin. Do you know that?
Kale?
Yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah.
I'm out of the loop here, so...
I know they also did A Silent Voice.
Yes.
Oh! Okay, yeah, that's... Oh, wow, I really like that style, too. Oh, okay, they did this?
And Dragon Maid, too.
I don't know about that one.
They made a free, you know, free?
No.
Free, no. Yeah, but they made a very famous anime.
Okay, yeah. Cool. Well, yeah, I'll definitely have to add that to the list. That sounds like a very... Is it... You said it's slice of life, or is it very fantastical? Like, I can't... So is there, like, fantasy elements, like, magic, or is it more like real life, or quote-unquote real?
I think it's like more fun. Not fantasy, but I think it's not like based on more fantasy world. I mean, it's not. Actually, it's the story is about it before telling the war and afterwards.
Is the war based on anything in our world? Like, is it World War II? Is it, like...
I think it's World War II, but it doesn't say particular war or something. But I
Okay.
think it kind of make up the war.
Okay, so it's like a fictional war? Like,
I
not...
think so.
Looking at the list of anime that everybody on this episode gave me, I was just like, haven't seen that. But it's all stuff now that I gotta go check out because it's all interesting on how, like, they're all, like, especially just anime in general, how, like, very different. Like, we just went from Saiki. Had to get that right.
You got it.
Okay. And then to Violet Evergarden, which is apparently are two very different kinds of anime.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just curious to see the other ones on this list. We're going to move on to your other choice for anime. For those of you listening, Karin you are actually from Japan.
Yeah, I'm from Japan. This is the first time to visit the United States.
So it's fair with everything. This is her first time ever doing anything recording, I assume. So everybody in the comments and listening, please be nice.
Cut her some slack.
Yeah,
come
cut
after
her.
you.
Yeah, what Aleah said. All right, your line, April.
I guess I can. So from what I remember, it's about a piano prodigy named Kose Arima.
Yeah, Kose Arima.
And he, like when he was like a young child, he had this nickname that was like the human metronome, just because he played piano pieces with such precision. And his mother was a piano instructor who was a bit strict, and she got results with him to play piano, but her methods weren't the most humane. I would
It's
say
kind of violent. She's very violent.
Yeah, it's like a bit abusive, I would say. I'd use that word.
I think it's fair, from what I've heard, to say... Once you say violence, I think it counts as abuse.
There was...
I'm going to assume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, so for the first part of the story, his mother also died a while back.
Oh.
An event occurred where he can no longer hear the sounds of his own piano.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's lost, like, all motivation to play, even though he's, like, just this extremely gifted piano player. Mm-hmm. And sort of what happens is he meets a girl who plays violin by the name of Kaori Miyazono. And she is a very, like, upbeat person. She's also fantastic at playing violin. But the way she plays violin isn't necessarily, like, traditional. She will... Because, you have, like, your sheet music, and people are like, oh, this composer intended it to be played this way with these feelings, whatever. But she likes to interpret music and make it her own. And a lot of people who are, like, in the, like, sort of conservative classical music thing don't like that about her. But she's just a very upbeat person. She's just sort of encouraging Kosei to pick up the piano again because she knows that he's a very gifted individual. And it just sort of goes from there. I don't know if you wanted to say anything, Karin.
I think it's almost about the story.
Okay. Well, sorry. When you said pick up a piano, my dumbass thought, oh, literally pick up a piano and play. I don't know why. I just thought of like dumb jokes because it was like a very serious topic about like, oh, this poor person was abused, and then all of a sudden you're like, you just said because pick up. I know what you meant by pick up piano, but I just was like, oh man, don't say that dumb joke out loud. But I did. So
It's too late.
Too late.
Won't be cut.
Not cutting
Will
it
not
out.
be
Damn
cut.
it. Not cutting it out.
It's a very dramatic show.
I know, so I have to really like fucking dig for jokes here. But yeah, I've heard a lot of people talk about this anime too. Talk about the story because you, like at least besides the like going beyond like what the initial synopsis is there like any like big? I heard that this one is one that's gonna make you cry as well.
Well, I'd say like the main theme.
But I think kind of a spoiler if I say that.
Well, don't say what's gonna happen.
Okay.
We don't have to say what happened. We can say like what themes.
Themes.
So
I
like.
think something sad things happen in the middle of the story.
Yeah.
It's really about Kaori Miyazono, the violin player. So then there's also the Kosei Arima, his main character, also has shocked by the something. So
Okay, all right.
and then but he tried to overcome that. Also he tried to be more free from his like traditional way of like playing piano told by his mother. So
Okay.
yeah.
You know what this kind of reminds me of, but just like in the initial concept of like the main character, is have you ever heard of the movie Whiplash? It's a movie about a kid who does
Yes.
drums.
Yeah.
It's-
Isn't that J.K. Simmons?
J.K. Simmons,
Yeah.
he plays a teacher who is very abusive to his like students.
I wouldn't say this anime is like Whiplash.
I know, but it just
But, like,
I'm on initial.
Yeah, I know like there's that dynamic.
Mm-hmm. But it's not like the whole heart of the show. The heart of the show is to get this kid, the main character.
Because the thing about
I didn't get the name, but
the thing about the show is they do play with. For a majority of the show, Kosei's mother actually isn't present because she passed away before the series started. But she's always like at the back of his head, and they'll sort of show that. And I think for the first half, it's sort of the first half of the show. It's sort of dealing. I'll talk about this a little bit since this is like the first arc, but it's kind of like Kosei just sort of trying to deal with the
Trauma.
grief of losing his mother and also the trauma that she brought upon him. Because it's like both. Because while she did some horrible things to him, at the end of the day, there's still that feelings like, oh yeah, she was my mother, but he just has a lot of very conflicting feelings, and he's just sort of trying to figure out how to deal with these things and cope with them, and how he can move on, and become his own person, right? So I'd say like the main themes that this show deals with are just sort of like grief and letting go.
Oh. Wow. Shit. Oh, I just wow. That hit home a bit.
And also like understanding that while things may be bleak in the present, there's still hope for tomorrow, and that the sun will still come up, and it's just sort of being able to,
Okay, you're talking in a very cadence that you're gonna make me fucking cry.
Alright, Karin!
Yeah, Karin.
Let's think of it.
Save us. Oh, God.
More.
Jesus. Dude, you were like, for those of you, well, this is all going to be audio. He was like, kind of like getting in close and closer. And closer.
I gotta do that, man.
You didn't mean to. It was
I know.
unconscious.
I know, but it was just like, hey, I'm going to like, really like,
Make you
get in
sad as fuck.
close and really
Are you really
make you
sad? Are you
feel-
crying?
Yeah, are you sad yet?
Where are your waterworks?
Listen, this show made me cry, dude.
Yeah.
I'm going to feel like some sad feelings if I watch this show. So far, you guys done a really good job of selling me on this show.
it's a very beautiful show too.
Okay.
Like, and even like in its sadness, there's a lot of beauty in it.
Okay.
The story is very sad, but also it's not always like sad. Sometimes they have like more comedy elements,
Oh,
and
okay.
also the story has like more triangle loves too. They have another two main characters.
Yeah.
They are friends of the Arima Kose,
Mm-hmm.
and then they make a triangle love. So that's also
Mm-hmm.
interesting.
So you're saying it's a love triangle?
Love triangle.
Yes.
Sorry.
Oh,
Let me
okay.
rephrase
Yeah,
that.
I was-
Could you cut
X
this out?
person,
No, it's the same. It's
No,
X
I'll
person
keep
likes
it.
It's
Y
the same.
person, Y person likes Z person, Z person likes X
no.
person.
All right.
So there's some of that too. It's not all doom and gloom.
Yeah, no, it's just about another complicated drama. That's it.
Who doesn't like drama though? Drama's fun.
Okay.
When you're not involved in it, like when you're from like an outside perspective.
Even then, I'm sometimes like, come on, can everybody get together? Like, come on, like, can we work this through? Like, sometimes I'm that person, like, when I'm watching a show, like, I'll always be like, I feel like if they were to just, like, sit down for, like, a minute, they could solve out their problems. Is that a case for this show, where it's just, like, it's easy to solve these problems?
No.
Oh.
As
Well,
matter of
besides
fact-
the whole
Matter of
mother
fact,
thing.
a lot of
I
the
just meant, like-
problems in the show are things that you just don't have control over.
Oh, shit.
Nice.
What a way to start this episode. Like, so far we've had, like, the psychic, then we've had the Violet Evergarden.
It's funny the segue from the funny like slice of life to like depression arc.
Yeah.
like,
It's not-
that's like really
to, like,
sad.
slice of life funny to real slice
Yeah,
of life.
real
It's
sad.
not all depressing. There are bits that are like just fun to watch. Like there's some slice of life with Kose and his friends. They're just at a cafe, goofing
Okay.
off.
Mhm. One thing I want to ask is, what's the animation style like?
It is very pretty.
All right.
Because the way they show, like, something that impressed me with the show a lot was how, because I don't play piano or violin, but I am a musician. I play tuba.
Oh.
But just and I also know like how some of these instruments work, but just sort of the animation of them playing their instruments
Mhm.
is very like accurate.
Oh.
It's not just like they're just hitting keys or
Yeah.
they're strumming the thing.
It's not like Looney Tunes where
It-
it's just like, or like the old classic cartoons where it's just literally them like moving their hands up and down.
Like, I don't know how they did it. It seems like they just watched some dude playing the piano. They just
Yeah, they could.
drew all that down. And I'm like, that's impressive.
Yeah, that's what some animations can do. I can't remember the specific name of the animation style, but it's where you take live action footage and you just draw over it to get the hands down, or they'll just sometimes look at the live action footage and draw what they see. They just frame by frame it depending on how many frame counts or frames per second the animation is going by. Typically 24, or 12 frames per second. But yeah, that sounds really cool. Especially, I don't know, like animes like Death Note that I've watched before, where they have like very little, like there's no real action. It's just how things are said, or like how like, oh, this character has an upper hand on this person. So they'll have like weird camera angles and stuff like that. Is it kind of like that, where it's just like extreme, really cool angles on how like someone playing the piano or someone playing the violin?
It's that, and there's also there's a bit of that, and something I also really like about the show is, like I mentioned, like they compete in like these competitions for classical music, and like they'll show like the scene when the guy's performing. Like as a performer, sometimes when you're like playing through a piece, you sort of get in like the zone or like the pocket, right?
Oh.
Where you're just sort of
Yeah.
like in there. You're connected to the music, you're connected to your instrument, you're connected to the audience and like the atmosphere of the room. And the way they like sort of animate and show off this feeling, like they use a lot of like different imagery for how the performer is feeling at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like sometimes they'll like, if I remember correctly, near the beginning when Kose is like unable to play well, they use this imagery of like him, like he feels like he's drowning, and so they'll show like him like playing piano underwater, if I remember correctly. And it's just sort of the way that they convey these feelings that you feel as a performer onto like a visual level. It's very cool.
Yeah, it sounds really cool. The way you described the zone was remind me, or that feeling reminded me of how the movie Soul described the zone. From what you described, it's like more of a pressure feeling instead of like a.
There's occasions where it's pressure.
Okay.
In other cases, with the other musicality, it's more like liberty.
Oh. Okay. Wow. Okay. Karin, do you have anything else you want to say about this show? Just because.
I'm sorry, I spoke a lot.
It's okay.
No.
I think
Thank you.
I also have same like I want to say just this show also take place in the characters' thoughts and consciousness. Like they use poetic metaphors to describe their feelings in the process.
Mhm.
What happened alone inside of the characters. So that's also really makes people more sad and more emphasized. So that's what I
Okay.
like about
Yeah, that sounds. Wow, this show sounds really awesome. Like now that you guys have described it and all the like visual imagery and like everything, and again, it's gonna probably be another one that I'm gonna have to like cry through. So probably should bring the tissues. But yeah, that sounds really cool. Like
Mhm.
just the whole way you described everything. Yeah. I think that's it for talking about Your Lie in April. So John, do you have one other anime you want to talk about?
We're not opening that can of worms, bro.
Open it.
What kind of can of worms are we talking about here, John?
I'm just saying, if I start talking about
John.
Fate, I'm gonna go on a 5-hour tangent. We're fine.
Come on, why not?
Here's the thing with Fate, I don't even know where to begin. Because I know you said you don't.
I don't know shit about Fate. I've heard there's so many different kinds of Fate. Or like Fate Stay Night, Fate Zero, Fate whatever the hell.
I've never seen it.
It is.
I heard it's like a very complicated thing.
Here's the thing, it's very complicated on the outside, but once you see it, everything just makes a lot more sense, but also nothing makes sense at all.
Oh, fuck. Is there a particular way we should start the show?
Okay, so I'm gonna say this. If you want to watch Fate Zero,
Mm-hmm.
and then watch By Ufotable, and then watch Fate Unlimited Blade Works by Ufotable. Or you can watch any of those two. It doesn't matter which one you want.
I'm already confused.
You want to watch... Okay, so here's the thing. Unlimited Blade
No,
Works...
starting over.
God.
Why'd you do that to him?
God
I
damn.
know, because he said he fumbled up his words, and I was just like,
Okay.
wait, what was that one? And then he was just like, but you can watch both of those two, and I was just like, I'm
Okay, so
fucked.
here's the
Wait,
thing.
which one?
So originally, Fate Stay Night is a visual novel.
Got
It
it.
has 3 routes.
What?
Oh yes.
There is the Fate route, Unlimited Blade Works,
Oh,
and Heaven's Feel.
okay.
Back in 2006, they tried to adapt the Fate route, Studio Dean, but it was not the best adaptation.
Huh.
What also happened along with these works is there was also a light novel called Fate Zero that is a prequel
Okay.
to the 3 routes. Because the thing is, like, the 3 routes, I know you don't like time shit, right? But basically what each of the 3 routes is, it's like the same setup to the story, but different events take place.
Okay.
So, they're like, and then Fate Zero,
Fighting for his life right now. Trying to explain
I'm
it.
enjoying this because with like Your Lie in April, he was so confident about like, I know what
I
I'm
can't,
talking about.
I don't know how to talk about Fate.
And then we pushed him into this, and now we're just seeing like this poor kid drown.
Pressure.
So,
Pressure.
Fate Zero is got adapted by Studio Ufotable in 2011, and that is the prequel to Fate Stay Night. And then afterwards, what Ufotable did is they animated the Unlimited Blade Works route of
Okay.
Fate.
Yeah.
And currently, they recently finished their adaptation of the Heaven's Feel route.
Mm-hmm.
However, Ufotable have not animated the original first Fate route yet, so you can't
Oh.
watch that just yet. So that's why I say, if you want to get into the Fate series, either watch Fate Zero by Studio Ufotable, or Fate Unlimited Blade Works by Studio Ufotable.
Okay.
Because one is like the story and the other is the prequel. Just whichever you feel like watching first. It's like the Star Wars thing. Do you want to watch Episode 4 first, or do you want to start from Phantom Menace?
The
It's
thing
your
about
choice.
Star Wars is there wasn't a fucking routes to everything. It's just like, hey, if you want to start here, start here. If you want to start there, start there.
It's
But here's
giving pick your own adventure.
Alright, listen, that new Lego Star Wars game came out. You can start from any trilogy you want. That's the same thing with Fate. Just start from whatever series looks cool.
Pick your own
watch it.
adventure. You hear that, viewers? Pick your own adventure with Fate, guys.
Whatever. If you want to watch Heaven's Feel first, go for it. If you want to watch the cooking show spin-off first, go for it.
Wait, what?
Is there no connection between
Yeah.
any of them?
So they all exist.
No.
No?
All stories are connected.
Oh,
I'm
they
not
are?
connected.
Have you seen Fate?
Yes, not all.
Okay, but you know,
But I cannot describe.
But they're all
And
like.
also, I'm confused too.
I love how...
I'm also confused.
I love how, like, before this we were like, oh yeah, John will talk about Fate, and I'll be it, and then Karin just out of nowhere is just like, oh, I've seen it too, and John's just like, what the fuck?
So they're all. So they're all like connected, but they're all.
So, like, in terms of, like, story for each, like, route, if I started with, like, Fate Zero, would I be, like, in the middle of the story, or at the end, or, like, does it matter at all? Like, does my question make sense?
Okay.
Like, would I be, like, spoiling anything
Alright,
for
so-
We
myself?
have different story lines.
Yeah.
Actually, it comes from the game. So if you
no.
like, if you play the game, you can sometimes choose the, like main character or
yeah.
choose the different story or side story,
Oh.
right? So one story is about like one guy, and the second one is more focused on the other one. So actually, they're based on the same story, but it's described differently. So the end is also different because sometimes if you play the game, you choose the other option. The end also changed, depending on people, depending on how you play. So does it make sense?
Yeah, it's a lot better than what I was saying. It's a lot-
Yeah, I'm starting to kind of get what
if you watch
she's
the
saying.
first Fate Stay Night, this is I think the base. I don't know how to say it, but if you
The
watch
main
main one.
storyline.
Main
And
story.
then
Then if
everything
you watch the
else.
second one, actually the same. No, basic storyline is same, but sometimes the relationships and the actions and the story is a little bit different. Oh,
Okay, so you know how like all the Marvel movies are like connected, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
and they do it pretty damn well
So
so,
like
far.
you don't need to. If you want to watch Spider-Man: Homecoming, do you need to watch all the movies before it if you just want to see Spider-Man?
I mean,
It would
wait,
make.
what movies are we talking
Here's
about
the
here? We're
thing.
talking
Here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? If you watch all the previous movies, it makes the experience better, and there's certain references there that make more sense.
about...
But you don't need to watch all of them if you just want to watch Spider-Man.
That's fair. Okay,
So it's kind of like that.
got it.
Okay.
I thought you, for a second there, I was like, are you talking about all the first 5 Spider-Man movies? Like the
No,
Tobey
no,
stuff?
I'm
and-
just talking about MCU stuff.
Oh, okay, because then you're just like, no, you don't need to. That's like a completely different character.
Like, do you need to watch all 3 Iron Man movies to watch Spider-Man: Homecoming? No. There's gonna be certain things that make more sense. It's like, oh yeah, that's a cool little reference. There's a cute little Easter egg.
Mhm.
It makes more sense if you've seen. But it's like you don't need knowledge of the previous works to understand the current plot in the current series.
Oh, okay. Well, that helps a lot.
I like how we went all about talking about how to watch it. We didn't even describe the story.
Yeah, what the fuck is this even about?
So,
Oh,
Change his
God.
position.
so
I don't know if they can't see it at home, but the position has been switched to serious mode.
Just don't try to change it back. We already know.
But so with Fate is there's a ritual that takes place every several years called the Holy Grail War.
Okay.
Where basically a bunch of mages, they want this thing called the Holy Grail that will, it's like an omnipotent wish granting thing, and these are all like mages that like study different schools, and they summon these heroic spirits from like history, legend, myth, called servants. And basically what it is you have these 7 masters and 7 servants that are like bonded. Each like master like bonds with a servant to like create a pact. And essentially it is just a fight to kill the other 6 servants so that yours is the last one standing and you get the Holy Grail.
Oh, okay. That sounds interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
I really got nothing to say because everything that we've said so far is just like fascinating, interesting. I'm just like, I guess the thing that's not gripping me about this show is that it sounds like a quote unquote battle royale show, almost, where it's just like, hey, here's this item we all need to get, and there needs to be how many people left? 6 people.
So, the way you win the Holy Grail is you need to eliminate the other servants. So you don't need to eliminate the masters, but eliminating the masters makes the servant go away because like the way the magic system works.
Okay.
And
All
killing
right.
the servant's really hard because their whole reasoning is the only thing that can harm a legend is another legend. So you have people like King Arthur, you have Hercules,
Oh,
you have like Medusa in there.
interesting.
So like all of these like famous heroes and like mythos are just
There.
there in an anime just
Huh.
fighting each other.
Oh, wow. That sounds...
It's actually really cool. It's actually...
Is it one of those scenarios where you don't think that you're describing it too well?
I'm not describing it well at all. That is a very basic thing. Like, I don't even know if I described it well, but it's cool.
So, I never knew that there was
That's
actual,
cool.
like, legends and stuff like Hercules and... Like, I think I know one thing is that one of the swords in this is actually Excalibur. Like, some girl uses Excalibur in the show, or...
Yes, so...
Is that the
sort
main
of
character?
like the main, like, the poster girl of Fate is this character called Saber, who is Artoria Pendragon, or Arthur Pendragon.
Oh.
They make King Arthur a woman in the series because they felt like it.
Why not?
I mean, yeah, honestly, it's pretty cool. I like
Yeah.
Saber a lot.
Yeah. That sounds cool. Yeah, is that the main character, or is that just the poster girl?
The main character of Fate's Day Night is a young mage by the name of Shiro Emiya.
Mm-hmm.
And his whole deal is he wants to be a hero, but he's kind of a crappy mage. And he just kind of enters this war on accident and just has to sort of roll with the punches, and he summons Saber.
Okay.
And so they're like the main duo.
Okay.
And then the prequel's about, Shiro's father fighting in the Guerrero War.
I don't know if you guys have sold me on this show, or if I am now like, I don't even want to touch that.
It is a very cool show.
It's kind of like One Piece for me right now, where it's just like, that is a commitment.
The thing about Fate is you don't have to watch all 900 episodes. You can just watch Fate Zero and you're like, oh wow, that's a cool series.
So that.
Bye. I'm not
You
gonna
said that so calmly. You don't have to watch all 900.
Yeah, with One Piece, that's what you have to do, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
well, yeah. Oh, there's not actually 100 or 900?
No.
How many episodes is this?
Fate?
Yeah. Or
It's like each series is like 24.
oh.
And the thing is,
Okay.
you don't need to watch all of them. You can just watch Fate Zero. Like, oh, that was cool. I don't feel like watching Unlimited Blade Works. Or you can watch Unlimited Blade Works. Oh, cool. I don't feel like watching the other ones.
Fair.
They're each their own story, and if you want to explore more, you can.
Okay. Huh. I don't know what to say. That's just like a lot. It's one of those things where it's like, do I want to commit myself to that like amount of lore? Like, do I want to add that to my other thing of nerddom? Because I'm like
Listen, if you're like a nerd and you like,
learning
the
about.
thing is, with Fate, you can put as much or as little as you want into it. There is like a lot of like lore behind it, but you don't have to touch any of it. If you just want to watch the story and watch like the character, because it's very much a character-driven show,
Okay.
and it's sort of like, like these Grail, like all these different people want the Grail for different reasons, and they're all fighting for their own ideals.
Mhm.
If you just want to watch that, great. You can watch it for that and stop there. If you want to learn more about the lore and each of these legends and like what their lives were, and you want to like get in deep in the rabbit hole, you can.
Okay.
But if you don't have to.
All right.
And that's what I like about Fate.
You could put as much or as little as into it as you
Yes.
want. Okay, that sold me onto it. Like, when it comes to like these very lore-heavy shows, like these like shows that have been on for ages, like Naruto or Naruto, Bleach, One Piece, Dragon Ball, I caught on to that pretty early. But with this one, I was a little hesitant because of like all these different shows that you guys even now have told me have been very branching paths and all these different ways you could take the show. The way you just described it now sounds like a show that I could easily digest. But yeah, all right. Karin, do you have anything you want to add to? No?
Yeah, it's so complicated. I cannot explain other things.
It's
Just watch. Please watch it.
Just watch it? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Aleah, do you want to have any comments about Fate before we end this?
No. I mean, the explanation at first threw me, like, I was, like, literally, like, running in circles in
I
my
was
head.
too.
I'm like, this, and then this, and then this.
Uh-huh.
But, like, I just have to watch the show. I think if I ask too much about it, it kind of takes away from, like, the whole experience. So I'll probably watch it.
All right. Ice, you're going to be talking about Fruits Basket first. So quickly talk about Fruits Basket.
Okay, so Fruits Basket is a show that has recently been redone, I guess. When I was in middle school, I watched Fruits Basket for the first time, and I'm pretty sure it awakened something in me because I've never looked at cats the same way.
What the fuck?
Okay, but like, it's not where you think it's going. Because
Are you sure?
we didn't let her explain yet. Maybe we'll be like, let me defend myself.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
also,
right?
just to say this one thing, I think furries are not as weird as people think they are. I would never be a
I
furry
agree.
or anything, but some of those costumes are actually really cool.
Yeah,
Anyways,
they're cool.
so going off on the furry idea, if you like people and animals in the same sentence, then this anime is for you. Because basically, this whole show goes off of the idea of the 12 Chinese zodiacs. So, like, if you've ever gone to, like, a Chinese restaurant and you look at the placemats and you're like, ooh, what year was I born in? Oh, I'm a rabbit, woo! You know? I'm a goat, by the way. But, anyways, and so these people, basically, they're part of the family called the Soma family. And when they get touched or, like, hugged or whatever, caressed, I don't fucking know, like, by the opposite gender, they change into animals.
Oh.
Yes. So,
Cool.
I don't want to even start to, like, know what your first impressions were
think
when
my first
when the
impression-
word furry came out of my mouth.
I think my first impression was, huh? But yeah, go
But,
on.
like, huh, with, like, the smirking, or, like, the huh as in, like, the ugh.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so,
So-
anyways, and so, the main character, like, the female lead or whatever, her name is Toru, and so, she's kind of a ditz, she's kind of like an airhead, but she's lovable, and so, she's very shy, too, and so she, like, you've learned, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but, like, you learn this literally in the first, like, 3 seconds of the first episode. But she ends up living in a tent because of stuff that you'll find out if you ever watch the anime. But she ends up living in this tent on the Soma's property without realizing it. So when she's like on a la-di-da, like little like a stroll, and then she sees their house, she sees like these little zodiac like painted figurines, and she's like, "Oh, I love cats." And then a guy comes, and he's like, "Yo, little girl, what are you doing here?" Which, by the way, you will learn that this guy is a fuck shithead. I hate him so much. So much. But you'll find out why. Anyways, and so he's like being pervy or whatever to this cute little kawaii Japanese girl or whatever. And then he gets like hit in the head by, of course, like the prince of the school. And so he ends up being like one of the somas, which means that he turns into an animal, which I'm not going to, you'll know, like if you do a little quick rinky-dink Google search, you'll find out, but I'll leave that for your guessing.
And the audience.
But there she goes, basically, as time continues on, and then they find out that she's living in a tent on their property, and after a good little jolly laugh, a little chuckle, they're like, "Why don't you come live with us?" And so she lives in this house on their property with 2 men, and that doesn't really make her sound that good at first, but she's really, actually, now that I think about it, it could go bad. If this was reality, this would not go very well.
Yeah.
Now that I'm thinking about this again, but, yeah, so, they are kind of like very standoffish people, and she like spends a little time with them, and they turn into like completely new people. And like then like slowly, like as episode goes on and on, she meets more of the members of the family, and she learns more of the very traumatic and dark past that all of these people have.
Okay.
And so she's basically like a healer, and she like heals all of their trauma and like gets them to like face it and all that stuff. And of course there's a little like love in there, there's a little like comedy in there, and you get like really attached to these characters because like you come to see, you're like, this animal does not match up with this person at all. And it's like really fun because it's like Pokemon. Actually, I don't know why I said that. That's not true. I just lied to you. I'm so sorry.
It's like
I'm so sorry. But like,
it's like
kind of
Pokemon,
like,
but if they were actually people.
yeah. I
Okay.
know like some people like to shy away from like animal animes because, you know, furries. But like, okay, sorry. This Beastars is good. Beastars is good. I don't care. I'm so sorry. Put a warning. Watch out for your eardrums. But anyways. But yeah.
Oh,
Anyways.
no.
If you want to learn about cute girls. Wait. That's not how
I do!
No, keep going.
If you wanna see
I
cute
do.
girls embracing the cute girly side that you never got to because your mom is a bitch. And you like to see hot guys. You like to see hot guys that just happen to turn into animals that you may be able to ride on. I don't know. Yeah, I highly suggest Fruits Basket. It'll make you cry. It'll make you happy. It'll make you really angry. It'll make you probably never be the same again, like it did to me. But maybe that's just my mommy and daddy issues. Yeah.
Damn. All right.
Golly.
I've always wanted to watch this though.
It's good. It's good.
The only like thing I knew about it was I thought it was a bunch of like personifications of the zodiac signs living in one house.
No, they're literally the zodiac signs.
Oh.
So like basically it's the spirits that possess them, and so it gets reincarnated.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So the thing is, because it's possession, like two normal humans can give birth to someone that's possessed by the
Oh, that
zodiac
was
spirit.
That's cool.
So like one of the characters, Momiji, who is the German bunny, and he's really cute, but it's really heartbreaking because of his backstory with his parents. But yeah, highly recommend.
Okay.
I'm down.
Yeah, that sold me. Okay, cool. What's your second show that you wanted to talk about?
Demon Slayer. I'm pretty sure the title is pretty self-explanatory. They slay demons, and there are demon slayers that do slay demons.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like Samurai Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But way cooler.
But, like,
way.
Ghostbusters are cool.
So, Sword versus
Immediately
Vacuum.
cut off.
Sword versus Vacuum.
I'll take the
Sword.
sword. I'll take the sword. Yeah.
So, a basic plotline. I feel like Demon Slayer is like one of the more known animes anyways, because it's considered quote-unquote mainstream.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I just watched it like this past winter. So, basically, the main character starts out as Tanjiro, who lives in the mountains for some reason, and his whole family gets massacred.
Mass murder. Yeah, mass murdered.
Oh.
Genocide, but smaller.
Yes.
So, his entire family gets wiped out by what he knows. He feels it. He knows it's a demon. And so, okay, so his sister is not dead, but surprise. So he's like shaking them. He's like, I forget their names. They're dead in the first episode.
Mom,
I
Dad.
didn't remember it.
5 minutes.
Actually, his
screen time.
dad died a long time ago.
No.
Of course.
He was frail. He was very frail.
Oh.
If you watch the anime, or if you have watched, you would know that man was on 10% for a long time.
Yeah, no, for real though.
So basically, he sees that his sister is still breathing, And so he rushes down this big ass mountain, which it didn't look that big when he was climbing up, but you know how these work. So, he's like desperately trying to save her. She's like bleeding out everywhere. And then she tries to attack him, and then he realizes that his sister's no longer human.
Oh.
And so somehow she finds her humanity again. And so that kind of is like the saving thing about Nezuko. And so he realizes this, and he wants to find a way to like cure his sister. And so he seeks help from like other people, and so he goes on this long journey to become a demon slayer so that he can find like the head demon, like the king of all demons, and get the answer for the cure for his sister. But like on the way, he meets his best friends Zenitsu and Inosuke. They go on this journey, and they all become demon slayers, and they meet all types of demons who have very sad backstories. Really,
Yeah.
really,
You wouldn't expect
really,
from a
really
demon 'cause
sad
they're
backstory.
demons,
Actually,
but, like,
the one demon from the Mugen train, he was just fucked up.
yeah.
Yeah, he just wanted to kill people
Oh.
because they
He was
gave
not
him
right.
pleasure.
There's always that
Oh.
Like
one
so,
person.
if like
There's always that one
sadism was a
drunk guy
demon,
that
yeah.
ruins it for the rest of the movie.
There's always
Yeah.
that one guy.
It really is.
Like
yeah.
me.
So, anyways, I don't even know how to get past that.
Well, so let's move it up to the rest of the room. Donovan, do you have anything to say about Demon Slayer after everything?
Okay.
Like the animation? Because that's what I've heard about the show.
Oh yeah,
it's
hella pretty.
Well, yeah, the animation is like, it has like this certain art style, and it's like when you see it, you already know,
Mm-hmm.
and that's all. And then like just the animation's like, it's great.
Okay.
Yeah. When I first saw it, it's like, cause like I've seen a lot of anime, I think, and
I think.
I don't really know how much is a lot at this point.
You've
but-
probably seen more than me, and I made this show called
Yeah.
Anime April.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of good anime. That's gonna be the
Yeah,
key.
okay, yeah,
Okay.
that's me, yeah. I've
And-
seen it.
Shut up.
I'll shut up.
And the plot was executed well enough in the first few episodes to instantly hook you in, because it's like, oh, he's gonna go over to this mountain and train with this other sword guy and become a demon slayer, and it's a very fast process actually. I mean, it only happens in a few episodes, so you're not going to watch like an entire season, and by the end of the first season, he's just becoming a demon slayer.
Oh, so it's not One Piece.
Yes.
Actually, now that you say that, the pacing of Demon Slayer is really well done. Like, just like
That's good to
There-
hear, because that's my one problem with a lot of anime,
Yeah.
is the
Yeah.
pacing.
in my opinion, there's no such thing as filler episodes in
Oh,
Demon Slayer.
That's because there actually isn't.
Yeah, there are.
They're
There-
literally not.
He's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
but like every episode is something's happening.
Okay.
But I don't know. Aleah?
Yeah, I think the characters are really interesting too. One of the characters I hate with my entire being is Zenitsu. You meet him in maybe like halfway through the first arc, something like that. Literally the most annoying character on that show. I don't care. I've seen everything. It's just visceral. Like, I just want to like strangle you, you know? Like, I'm just like if you say one more thing, then I'm like, I might not watch this show anymore. But I kept watching because there are other characters that make up for it. So you find characters you love and you hate, and also just, I don't know, it's really colorful, like we mentioned before, the animation. Every character has their own color, I feel like, so.
That is true. And it matches up with their powers. Oh wait, did we say that? Did we say that they have like
I'm gonna
elements?
assume like if you're fighting demons, you need to have
That's
powers.
the one
Well,
thing I
okay.
remember about the show.
They're normal
Elements.
people though. Like they're normal people,
Okay.
but their fighting styles is what gives them power.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's like, I guess it's like element, like, wise, like, I guess, like, Avatar, but, like, instead of being born with it, it's, like, through it's, like, Naruto? I actually never watched Naruto. How would you explain it?
I personally believe that sword techniques don't actually do the effects you see, and it's just there for special effects. But it's, I don't know. I personally just think it's like you just kind of breathe kind of funny and you do the thing.
No, literally, you breathe that ass.
It's that funny.
There's so many different I don't know if this is a spoiler, but like breathing techniques are something they talk about a lot, and a lot of the characters do breathing techniques. I guess it's different for like whatever element you have. And it's just like this second breathing technique, this first breathing technique, and it's like different. Literally, they're just like swinging their sword in different ways. So
yeah, it's also the forms. Like Zenitsu has forms, and then Tanjiro has breathing. But what makes Tanjiro like cool is that he has 2 different types of breathing, which you'll find out later in the anime. But
Okay.
Yeah, does that make you want to watch it?
Yeah. No, I'm just more like curious about how do you breathe different. Just like.
Can I tell you that because it's a spoiler?
You know, like
Alright.
meditation and how like you breathe
Oh,
to like.
okay.
Yeah. So like
alright.
breathing for them, it does so many types of things. Whether it's like
Breathe
like normal
different.
breathing, like calming down your nerves, or like the way they breathe can even heal themselves. Like it's like really,
okay.
it's like super duper interesting.
Cool.
Like they aren't born with it because like some of the you'll come to learn that their names are the Hashira, which they're like the top, like they're the best demon slayers out there, like the most powerful and whatever. And some of them like they have like pretty predictable like quote unquote powers, like they have lightning, water, fire, but there's also mist and love and like insects, which you'll find out that like I actually don't know what the love Hashira does, but that's supposed to be in the next season, so that'll be interesting to watch. But I bet you could do more research because of the manga. But
Yeah.
we already talked about like the animation and stuff like that and how like amazing it is, but it's so like, you know, you have those moments when you look at something, you're like, damn, this is like clearer than my eyesight.
Yeah.
Demon Slayer is that anime. She is that bitch. Like,
Yeah.
it's like you don't even comprehend that what you're seeing someone drew because like someone animated, because it's so like it's I just can't even explain it. It's like so awesome. It's like when you see fireworks for the first time. That's what it's like. It's like so like amazing and like in your face and like colorful, and it's something that you never thought could be achieved. That's one of the things I love most about the anime, and the second thing is like how the characters are made, because like you even feel bad for the villains and like you get attached to the villains, and you'll see that Tanjiro, that's kind of like his thing. Like he realizes that at one point the demons were humans themselves, and so even though he knows he has to kill them, he still feels for them, because like some of them were turned against their will, like his sister, and because he knows that like it's possible for them to have a human side, he feels even worse when he has to kill them. So it's just like you hear about all of these like really sad and traumatic backstories of like some of the demons. There are exceptions, but it's just like it makes you wish that like they didn't have to die, basically. So yeah.
I like shows like that.
Okay, now I'm done.
Okay. Thanks.
You're
Okay.
welcome.
So what is it now? On to so our next anime that we're going to be talking about is Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah.
The one I've been meaning to start. Like, literally, I've been wanting to start.
It took me forever.
God,
to
what
start
is
it.
stopping you? Start now.
Time.
No, for real.
Start now.
Time.
I
Felt that.
the first season no, there's only one season.
There's only
now,
one
right?
season.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
whipped through that bitch. I just finished it in 3 days, 2 or 3 days.
No life
Am I-
game.
am
Leah, why don't you kick off to talk about Jujutsu Kaisen?
Okay, so the main character, there are a lot of characters, but like the main character is Itadori Yuji, who Itadori Yuji.
She's doing
I'm not gonna give
you know,
it a try.
Japanese like speakers, whatever. Yeah, it's a habit. It's
Anyway, just Itadori Yuji.
I got it. You're speaking my white language.
No! So, he's a high school student who ends up swallowing this cursed finger of, I forget the first name, Sukuna or whatever his name is.
Sukuna.
What? Sukuna, yeah.
I mean, I just
So
watched
now-
the trailer for it, and I was like, alright.
No, it's
Wait, how does he... Okay, go on.
it happens through a battle. Like, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but
Yeah.
basically, Sukuna is now part of him. So they made some sort of pact. So like, I don't know. It gives me the same vibes as Demon Slayer in the sense where like they have powers, but it's like cursed energy that gives you these
Yeah.
powers. So you meet a bunch of different characters who have different cursed powers and abilities and stuff. And the villains in the show are trying to collect all of Sukuna's fingers and to unleash his like full power and potential, which may kill Itadori in the process. So, yeah, that's like the main plot line, but there are plenty others. So,
They're called sorcerers, right?
so yeah, Jujutsu sorcerers.
I've heard a lot of people talk about this, but I haven't heard like, oh, this is the main reason why. Like for Demon Slayer, I heard, oh, dude, the animation is just like crazy. Or for the anime we're gonna be talking about, dude, you just have to watch it because it's weird as fuck.
Yeah.
But what makes Jujutsu Kaisen so like appealing to such a mass audience?
Well,
Or
they're
like a
hot.
blood?
I was gonna say, well, yeah.
Sorry.
Let me start.
I had to put that out there. Shallow reasons only.
The characters, you'll really enjoy the characters. Like, it's hard to pick your favorite, but they just have different personalities, and they clash with each other, but they also mix pretty well with each other. Like, there's a trio of Itadori, Megumi, and Nobora, who are they're the three they're like freshmen in the university or whatever, but like the trio, they're so funny together. Like, I just couldn't get enough of them. You also meet a bunch of other characters, so you're just like, what the fuck is this show? But in a very good way. You're like, I can't stop watching, but like, you know, it just makes you feel good, I guess.
Okay. Donovan, you said you watched this show too?
I'm about like halfway there. I would have finished it, but there's a tournament arc, and I don't know. I can't get past them for some reason. But I know it's gonna be good because
You have to watch it. It's so good.
I know it's gonna be good because like everything leading up to it, like the powers and everything, I got a feeling that it's gonna be spicier than your normal tournament arc.
Spicier.
No, he's right though.
He's not wrong.
He's not wrong.
What
It's
makes
really good.
Spicy.
Just like Demon Slayer, what makes Jujutsu Kaisen so good are the fight scenes.
Oh,
Like
okay.
how
Yeah.
intense they are, and how like you literally can't like peel your eyes away from the screen until someone wins or loses. Even when what the tournament he was talking about is, there are two schools. There are two
Okay.
different schools for sorcerers, which if you've like, I guess in comparison, like if you've ever watched My Hero Academia, you know there's like different classes.
Oh.
And then it's that big tournament thing where they all fight against each other. They have something like that in Jujutsu Kaisen, where they see like who's the better school and whatever. And they hate each other. Like everybody hates each other just because of the rivalry they have. But yeah, what makes Jujutsu Kaisen is the humor, I think, and the fighting.
Okay. You know what? This just sounds like Dragon Ball, but with hotter men.
Okay, I've heard comparisons of that, of like the Jujutsu the whole cursed energy thing compared to Naruto.
Oh.
But I've never
okay.
watched Naruto, so I like don't really know.
I've seen the entirety of Naruto, and it's because I didn't finish it. I don't really know how cursed energy works. But it's not really as the same as Naruto. I don't think so, anyways.
Okay.
Yeah, I
But-
have no idea.
I feel like the way the plot goes about itself, it feels like Naruto without the stupid stuff.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
So
not really,
Naruto without the filler.
It's a little bit more than that, but yeah.
Okay.
I feel like Naruto, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but like it seems like more of like a coming of age story for like Naruto. Like he like, it's like a journey, kind of like Tanjiro and Demon Slayer. I don't know. This is like completely baseless, by the way. Like I don't know anything about Naruto.
Naruto is there's like 2 main plot lines in Naruto, and I guess I don't think it really has anything to do with growing up, actually. But I don't know. I haven't analyzed it.
Okay. I was about to say, please, let's not talk about
I
Naruto
am
right now.
curious, though, where did you get the comparison to Dragon Ball? To this?
Okay, so what I got was like a Dragon Ball specifically.
Yeah.
Because I heard like the different schools, and like, Dragon Ball's a lot about training, and like you have Kami school, you have Master Roshi school, you have Tien school, but I don't know what it is at the moment.
Tien?
Tien.
I think that's Chinese for heaven.
No. Tien is a character.
Oh,
It's
sorry.
been a long time.
Yeah,
Sorry, it's
that's
been a
where I
minute,
got
it's been a
that. So
minute.
I'm specifically saying Dragon Ball because Dragon Ball was a bit more quote unquote grounded.
Yeah, I mean, I get it with the schools, but like,
I don't know.
maybe storytelling, maybe.
God damn it! I was trying to
something
make a
like
joke.
that.
Oof. It's like when you try to show your parents like a meme, and then they're like, "That's not funny."
Did that just go over my whole head?
Or maybe I'm just not that funny.
Shit.
Damn. Should you be hosting this then?
No, but I am.
I feel like if you want to compare Jujutsu Kaisen to an anime, I would have to say it's Demon Slayer.
Yeah.
Because
Well, I
it's the
haven't
whole
seen
like
Demon
they
Slayer.
have the whole trio thing going on. They have the whole like sensei like thing going on. They have the whole like you get attached to the villains thing going on too.
So, ironically, everything she just said applies to Naruto. You got 3 characters. You got the sensei. Villains usually have some kind of tragic backstory. There's this one guy though. He's just evil.
Actually, wait, that's like the
Well,
wait,
now
the
we're talking
trio
about
thing.
Naruto, and
Yeah.
I didn't want to do this, but okay, we're talking about
It's fine.
Naruto.
The trio thing in anime is actually pretty. Cause like even in Fruits Basket, which we talked about earlier,
Mhm.
there's a trio,
Oh,
and then like
okay.
a sensei thing.
Well, yeah, you usually get like your trio
Yeah.
of like you get your main character and you get their 2 side
You get, like,
characters.
All of their different like personalities.
I like to think of it like the Harry Potter thing,
Yeah, yeah,
or
yeah,
like
yeah.
Attack on Titan has the same thing, where it's just like
Yeah.
one main character who I hate, and like 2 other characters that are very cool. So I don't know. I don't know if there's like a particular term for that writing style, but it is very common.
Magic of 3.
Yeah. Everything works best in 3s.
Yeah.
I don't know how to like explain my complete hype over Jujutsu Kaisen without spoiling the whole
Yeah.
show.
It's
Yeah.
hard to like keep it in.
It's like-
this.
It's
Yeah.
really like
Not
heartwarming,
on this
I
show.
guess, because like Yuji, he comes into this a completely normal human being. Like the kid, like I don't think this is a spoiler because this happens in the first episode, but like his grandpa dies and then he immediately jumps into action.
Yeah.
It is like Dragon Ball.
Okay,
like-
fine.
Like shut up. Basically, like Yuji's world just like keeps getting worse, and like Aleah said about the finger, like it just keeps getting worse because like in the span of 2 days, his grandpa dies, which is his only family left. Then he runs into this random emo boy, who is like, oh my god, there's like don't eat that. Then he. then he eats it, and then he gets
Yes,
like
common
attacked.
sense. Don't eat random fingers.
Yes,
Eats it.
then he gets attacked, and then he almost dies, and then he almost dies again once he gets saved from the monster because the demon spirit's trying to take over his body.
This is all in episode 1. by the
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
Like, this is
Oh.
literally not like
Yeah.
more than one episode.
And
It's literally
then-
the first episode of the series.
Yeah,
That's
first
fine.
first 2 episodes. Then he gets taken in. They're like, yeah, we're probably gonna have to kill you later, but you have to do this for us in the meantime. So this poor kid, like he has to do all this stuff, but like he's a he's a good sport.
He's a sport.
He's a good sport. Like
Good sport.
he does everything. He makes friends, and it's just like you know that you can't get that attached to him because you know he's eventually gonna go. He's gonna be a Twitter bio, you know. So like,
No, for real.
like no, like
And that's
actually,
no
like,
spoilers, but like
they have to kill him basically.
I felt that.
Doesn't
And like
he like start like I don't know, but from what I remember when I watched the trailer, it kind of reminded me of Parasite because he started like shape shifting into something weird.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's instead of like having a hand that can turn into sharp objects.
Yeah.
He he literally gets possessed.
Yeah.
Like, the deal that Aleah was talking about was, like, when Sukuna, like, tells him, he constantly lives in Yuji's brain. So he also shows up on Yuji as, like, as a demon on his hand, if you've ever seen, like, posters or pictures of Jujutsu Kaisen.
And also another indicator, there's another line under, there are 2 lines under, Sukuna, Itadori's eyes, so you know Sukuna's in there. Because when the eye opens, he starts talking. So.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's kind of gross if you really think about it in, like, realistic sense. But it's... They basically made a deal that because Sukuna threatened to kill him because he can. Because he can reach his brain and his heart while inside his body. And so he said, when I say we switch bodies.
Okay.
But Sukuna basically gets, like, a minute out, I think. Like, he gets a minute out, and then he has to come back.
Oh.
Because even though Sukuna threatened, I think it was Sukuna that threatened Itadori. I don't really remember because this was a little bit ago. But one of them threatened each other, but neither one of them want to die. Because if one of them dies, they both die.
Yeah.
And because Sukuna is so powerful, it's hard for him to find a body that matches his that won't kill it right away.
Oh, okay.
So he wants to stay in Itadori and, like, do his own, like, evil dude thing. And, like, probably cheat him out of his body eventually.
Yeah.
But that's basically the deal that they have with each other.
Alright. Okay. Cool.
I'm down.
I'm interested now. I mean, I know it's on HBO Max.
It is?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
I think.
And Demon Slayer is on Netflix.
Oh, it is?
It's also...
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Jujutsu Kaisen is also on Hulu.
I don't have Hulu, so.
Yeah. And then... I don't know. I literally could talk about this anime, like, for so long. Like, you have no idea. It's like, there's so many things. I recommend you guys do research. Once you, like, watch it, you'll become more, like... It's fun research, though.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it's
Okay.
not like...
Homework.
because,
Yeah.
like, especially if you
Or
guys
Fate.
watch the movie... Because the movie revolves around the history of the original... the original 3,
Okay.
and which was Maki, Panda, and Inumaki.
Yes.
And they all have, like, their own... Do I say their curse speed thing? Their powers?
Would that...
I don't think that's a spoiler, honestly.
You can just look up their powers.
Yeah,
I don't
just
think
look it
would do
up,
anything to
honestly.
Yeah.
You got fingers, use them. But,
Just make sure they don't get eaten.
Yeah, don't
just don't eat them.
Just type on.
Yeah, so they were the original 3 in the movie. And then... Frick, I forgot his name. The guy in the movie. Yuta.
Oh, yeah.
So if you remember, or if you've ever watched, you find out in the beginning of the season when Yuji meets, like, the 3 of them, but grown up now. When he meets them, they're like, yeah, there's another one, but he's out of the country right now. They're talking about Yuta, which I thought that was really interesting, especially if you stayed to watch the after credits scene at the movie, where you see Yuta out of the country, and, like, it's pretty interesting. Like, now you know to stay after the credits.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's why I'm excited for season 2.
It's coming out in 2023, my god. I can't believe
Yeah, it's kind of a rough
Hey
one.
man, let the animators draw.
Yeah.
That's true, but it's gonna take
I mean, have you seen Gojo's eyes?
Gojo! Oh my god, I
There's a
love
meme where,
Gojo.
like, they have the entire the budget's, like, all spent on Gojo's eyes and, like, Megumi's eyelashes. Because they're so intricate and honestly beautiful.
Like, you'll be like, I was surprised. I was like, because I don't want to. Character design, is that a spoiler?
No.
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 So
Oh, is this the character with, like, the bandage?
the bandage over his eyes and the white
I've
hair
seen
standing
enough.
up.
Yeah, I've
Because
seen
when I was
some.
first watching, I was
Daddy.
like, maybe. When I was first watching it, the show, I was like, what's underneath? Like, is it gonna, like, if he opens his eyes, like, is the world gonna, like, explode or something? And I saw his eyes for the first time, and I'm like, whoa.
Something
Like,
exploded.
this man is... This man is perfect.
This man a pretty mofo.
Yeah,
Oh my
he's
god.
pretty.
He is pretty as hell. Like,
for real.
honestly, he could probably kill the enemy with his looks alone.
I'm
The-
interested.
The old,
Which is
the-
kind of almost kind of
true.
almost
Okay.
his power.
There's
Go.
also, I also did research on why he has to wear the blindfold.
I'll look it up later.
Yeah. I don't want to spoil anything, but it has to do with his curse.
Are we spoiling
curse
anything for you,
powers.
Donovan?
No.
Oh, okay. So
Okay,
you've
good.
seen this man's eyes.
Yes, I'm halfway.
He's
in
halfway
here.
through, so you've seen.
I'm right before the tournament. I'm like they're like probably about to throw hands, and I'm
Yeah,
just like,
yeah. So okay, so
Okay.
you're fine.
Yeah. I mean, okay. Here's the thing. He never just has his eyes out. That sounds like I'm saying like.
Eyes out.
Okay. Yeah, he never just has his eyes out unless he's like about to use his curse energy.
Okay.
He's either wearing his blindfold, or oh my god, or when he's wearing his sunglasses when he's in casual wear. I'm sorry, the things I would do to them. Anyways, that's not the point. That's not the point. Hey, I'm old enough. He's old enough. What's the problem? What's the problem? There's no problem. I'm not gonna get canceled.
Yeah.
Check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Yes.
But yeah.
This has been $1 Million Media.
Good night. But yeah, he's okay. So all the things that you hear about Gojo, the fact that he's like OP, is that what kids say these days?
Yeah,
Yes.
OP.
he
is.
It's fact. Like it's a fact.
He
He's
very
OP
much
as fuck.
is. When he uses his when the blindfold comes off, you just want back on.
He could end the
You know
show. Honestly, he could have ended the show like a while back when his eyes like
Get in the show. Whole show's done.
his whole show's done in like 5 episodes.
He could.
Like-
You'll find out why it's not that easy later. With a quick research thing. You'll find you'll just find out why.
Just let Death Battle take care of it.
Because
Yeah.
honestly, yeah,
Do we say domain expansions? Because that's what it kind of is.
Ryok Tenkai.
Yeah. So like domain expansions are like
He can expand this domain.
so.
Sorry, I need sleep.
Just in short, domain expansions are like the special move if you're like in like an arcade fighting game. You know how like there's like a special move that basically demolishes the other opponent. That's what domain
Yeah,
expansions
back
are.
down circle.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
like Konami code or whatever the fuck. Yeah. Like
Up, down, left, right, B,
Yeah.
start.
so each character has their own domain expansion. They gain it through some means, but like they're different classes. I don't think we talked about classes. We like mentioned it, but like different classes are assigned to you based on like your cursed energy power. So like I believe class 1 is the strongest, unless I'm getting that backwards. Or is it 5?
I thought it was grade.
Was
like
it
a
grade?
grade 3 sorcerer or
Grade
something.
3.
Like
Yeah. Oh, grades, classes, whatever the fuck. Yeah.
Because there's grade S, which they use to describe the demons. Do they call them demons? What do they
Like
call
the
them?
villains, the main villains of the show.
I don't know. I don't.
The
I
bad
forget.
guys.
The
Yeah.
bad guys. Yeah.
The
It's
bad
like
men.
class S, or grade S, grade SSS. Like depending on how powerful they are. Because did we mention this is so like everywhere?
This
But
show has no format.
Yeah.
villains
Let's
and
go.
the good guys and the villains all can use cursed energy.
Okay.
Like it's not
I
just
think we
something.
talked about that a bit.
Yeah, like it's different from Demon Slayer, where like the demons can't use like forms.
Mhm.
They have cursed demon. We're off that. Anyways,
Okay.
but yeah, that's why like Sukuna, the whole history with Sukuna and why he's so like such a danger is because he was a sorcerer. He's just a really shitty, bad sorcerer, but like in the best way possible. But that's not a good thing. So it's like a little bit of an oxymoron.
I'm not even gonna ask. I'm just gonna find out when I get there.
Yeah,
Okay.
you'll just
Yeah.
find out.
We'll
Once-
stop talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
like
should probably
it's-
start
yeah.
talking about Jujutsu Kaisen because I know this one's going to take a long time because
I'm just gonna sit here. You guys aren't gonna be hearing my voice for a while. You get break. Good job.
Oh, okay then.
Donovan over here like, alrighty then. But alright, the next anime that we're going to be talking about is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Now, can I get a reading of the room of how much of JoJo have people seen? I have seen up to part 2.
I've seen all of it.
I've seen, like, it's right past the halfway point of part 5,
Okay.
where, like, I don't even
Is
know.
that Stone Ocean?
No,
That's
that's...
Diamond is Unbreakable, isn't it?
No, it's, the Golden
Oh,
Wind.
Golden Wind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you?
I'm like
Giorno.
pretty much done with Diamond is Unbreakable.
Yes.
But like I've had most of the rest of it spoiled for me, so I don't really care.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
the
we're
only
not
thing
doing
I know
spoilers.
JoJo is the TikTok trend where they go, JoJo no Kimi no Goku.
That's
Yeah.
not
Literally
supposed.
heavy.
They say this is
Yes.
literally the name of the show.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Okay, so I guess from what I could say is that this show is about the family line of
Yeah.
the Joe stars, and they're all named something Joe, so it's like Jonathan, Joseph, Jotaro.
Jotaro,
You guys gotta help me out.
Josuke.
Josuke, and then Giorno, who's
Yeah.
not a Joestar, but
My
He
name is
kind of
Jolino
is.
Josuke.
kind of is, but not like.
With
by
everyone
blood,
calls
though.
me Jojo.
It's
It's complicated.
It's difficult.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bottom line, they have a weird family, weird family line that goes across the whole world pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I think it starts off in England.
Yeah.
Oh,
England.
Can I like? How about we do this? Can we like go through each part?
All right, can I do part 1 then?
Yeah.
Because that's the one that was just like.
Because I want to talk about how much this man Dio wanted smoke. Like, bro, he had. You
Fuck
guys were
that
talking
man
about
Dio.
like villains that had tragic backstories. Bro just showed up one day and wanted to fight.
No, literally, he literally.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, you want to talk about part 1?
Yeah, we'll talk about part 1. Like, well, not to go in detail about part 1, but we'll talk about like. Well, no, we can't go into like what happens at the
Yeah.
end and shit.
Oh, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna say that,
No.
but just
Okay,
like.
but we could talk about like the first episode, and boy golly, I never said golly before.
I said,
Whatever.
boy, golly.
But that man Dio.
Boy, golly G.
Golly G.
Golly G.
G.
Willikers.
Fuck y'all.
That's the white side coming out, bro.
White side. That's all I am.
That's exactly the point. You can't help but come out.
I know. Copy paper. But
Ranch.
but what the fuck? The first episode of this show
That's
is ridiculous, bizarre, and the title of the show says it all. It's bizarre.
Yeah.
So, with what happens in the first episode is that this man Dio strolls up to this Joestar house and basically is like, "Your family owes my family a debt, so I'm gonna live with y'all." And basically, slowly but surely, this man just starts to crumble Jonathan's life because he wants to he does some of the most petty fucking shit,
Yeah.
and then just disturbing stuff
Yeah.
towards the end.
Yeah.
Like
He's a crazy ass.
Like,
Yeah,
the petty
he's
shit is just
messed
like
up.
he punches him at, like, when he first meets him, kicks him, beats him up.
Yeah.
That's petty, apparently, in my book. But then he, like, kisses his girlfriend for the first
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, and they got all the
Bastard.
smoke. They were like
Yeah.
squabbling, and I was like, over a girl? Like, alright.
But okay. And then all of a sudden, at the very end, this man just decides, I'm gonna burn your family dog.
Yeah, he cooks the dog.
That shit was crazy. I was like, do I stop here? Like,
I was just like...
Do I stop?
do I stop watching this show? Because my friends recommended it. So I
Uh-huh.
watched it. And I was like, so you, like, burned the family
Yeah.
The
dog.
dog didn't even do anything.
Right, the dog didn't
He
even-
just wanted to be mean.
That, like, 1 second of screen time was like...
It
Yeah.
did. Like, the first thing that this guy does, Gio does before getting out, is literally kick the dog.
Yeah. He kicks the dog.
He kicks the
He's
dog,
like,
and
I
it's...
hate dogs. And I'm
Yeah.
like, well, damn.
Yeah, you don't need to fucking kick
You
him.
just got me.
Sounds like mommy issues.
Ew. Actually,
This
yeah.
man just has issues.
Yeah, no, he literally has issues.
You forgot to explain why he has a debt, like why his family has debt. That matters because then you talk about the mask, and that's pretty much the basis for the whole entire series.
Okay, yeah, there's this weird vampire mask that happens that turns people into vampire ghoulish zombies things.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so like they get to a point where Jojo is like, all right, this dude sucks, and they start fist fighting, and then they get some blood on that mask,
Mm-hmm.
and the mask just starts acting funny, and
Yeah.
Dio was like, all right, I want to figure it out, and then he
Mhm.
figures it out, and then boom,
Mm-hmm.
whole series just starts.
Yeah, the
because
whole
Bro wanted
series.
to be annoying.
Yeah,
Yep.
because this guy's just very petty, and
Yeah,
and then
he's
they
just
go
a
on this
bad dude. Like
whole
he's just a
adventure
bad guy.
trying to defeat Dio, and they run into some very fun characters along the way. In
Yeah.
part one, even like there's some really fun characters in part one.
Every part has some quirky, fun side characters.
Yeah.
Like,
It's fun. I just want to say one of my favorite things about this show is that mostly everyone's name is named after a band or a musician.
yeah, there are a lot of Western
Yeah.
Yeah,
influences. in
Dio's
the show.
named after Dio, like Ronnie James Dio's band Dio. Like Speedwagon is named after
Yeah.
REO Speedwagon.
There's a character in the later
Speedwagon.
part whose power is called the Sex Pistols. So like
There's literally a
like,
whole thing named like Red Hot Chili Peppers.
no, dead ass. Like
Full name.
just
Yeah.
so it's
I know there's a character in part 2, so if we want to, like, is there anything we want to move over to talk about part 1 real quick?
that's just
You
kind of
guys
the
just
basis
got
of the
done
show.
talking about the first part, and I'm already like becoming overstimulated.
Yeah.
But it's like it literally.
The
sounds
show
like
is
you were
literally
talking
like overstimulation. Like
Uh-huh.
There
You're
are
talking
some
about, like,
parts
three
that
different
like
genres.
it really gets bizarre to a point where you don't know what the fuck is going
The
on.
editing is weird. The character designs are weird. Well, the character designs, everybody in this show, at least in the first couple parts, even if they're like 15-year-old, they look like they're the fucking Rock.
They're all
Yeah.
over 6 foot.
Over
and,
6
like,
feet,
buff as
muscular, like 18-pack.
shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
the show's
It's-
for the gays. I'm telling you right
It
now.
is.
I've
It
been
is.
saying
It
that
is.
since day one. It's for the gays. Like you can't prove me wrong.
Maybe it's because Dio's bi.
He is. He's bisexual. So
Oh, he is?
That's why he's
Yeah.
so
Oh, I didn't know that. But okay.
God.
Do you have anything to say? Or do you want to move on to talk about the other parts? Because let's
Probably
quickly...
the
Yeah.
other part.
Part-
Okay.
I
Alright,
don't
quick-
have much to say about part 1.
Alright.
Yeah, it kind of just sets the stage.
Part 2, follow Jonathan's grandson, which Joseph Joestar, and it talks about, in that one, they're in America this time, and this is during the 60s, or like
That's a
50s?
40s?
40s? Oh, 40s. Yeah,
World
that's
War
right.
II.
World War II 40s, because the Nazis are involved in this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They really are.
And the Nazis are experimenting on the mask from part 1, and fuck shit arises,
Yeah.
and they basically release these, what are they, like?
Pillarmans.
Pillarmen, yeah.
There is it's the funniest shit, their names.
Oh,
ACDC,
AC/DC.
WAMU, and Cars. And
Yep.
Cars was my favorite, because Cars was, like, actually batshit crazy.
no, he was insane.
Was, who was the one that, like, okay, this is a quick little spoiler for a moment, but who was the one that, like, cried out in pain for, like, a good minute? And then he was just like, oh, I released out all of my emotions, so now I could fight you. I was just like,
Oh,
that's the kind of shit that's in this show.
Yeah.
I don't even remember.
I think it was...
Like,
I
they're
think it
fighting
was
literally on a spike pit. On the spikes.
Yeah.
I think that was.
AC/DC.
I think it was AC/DC.
it might have
I
been.
was gonna say Wamu, but then you said Spice. I was like, nah.
No,
Yeah.
WAMU was, like, in the Coliseum fight.
Yeah,
I think.
yeah.
But yeah, they also have this power that's like, Hamon,
Yeah.
which is like using the body's water, and water is a huge element in the show.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like,
It's also, like, a
I'll say this,
breathing
this is,
technique.
yeah. Oh no,
That's
we're
why
going back to breathing.
That's why I was like, oh, that sounds like the
Jojo.
second part of JoJo,
Yeah.
because you have to like breathe a certain way to make it work,
Mhm.
and it's really
Yeah.
weird, but
Yeah.
it makes
Yeah.
sense.
Just
But
like
yeah.
breathe funny, hit the guy, and they turn to dust.
That's
No,
literally
that's
this
literally
show.
the show.
The
But, like,
pacing
different
in this
ways.
show is ridiculous, even in the fight scenes.
Yeah,
like
it
it's
doesn't-
a lot of flash frames where it's just like single images of someone getting punched,
Yeah.
and that's kind of the animation style you get for the first 2 parts. But I'm gonna have Donovan real quick talk about. We're gonna move on to part 3.
Oh yeah. I honestly don't even know, but yeah.
Where to start?
Where to start? Where to end, part 3 is where, like, this show is already really weird, and then
Yeah.
it just gets weirder.
Yep.
Yeah.
To be honest, I wanted to talk about part 4 because.
You can talk about part 3 and 4 if you want.
So, I don't know if I should even. You know what? So part 3, they completely threw out Hamon
Yeah.
for some
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
And-
it just mutated into something entirely different.
Yeah.
and give the main characters stands, which is like, it's
Ghosts.
not
Yeah.
It's like
Okay.
it's like the mind's it's like a manifestation
It's
of
in
the
the-
mind or something.
yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus. Okay.
Yeah. So
Falling along their ice.
Yeah, it gets. This is the season. This is part 3 is the part where I'm talking about where there's blocks of episodes where you just don't know what the fuck is happening.
I'm gonna be honest, like, as I'm listening, I keep being like, oh, well, yeah, this show could be good, and, oh, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm just...
It's a show definitely not for everybody.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Or if continue on the part three.
I just wanted to say that, like, the first episode, the main character shoots himself in the head and catches the bullet.
Yeah.
Like, point blank.
Yep. I remember that. Yeah. And I think is this a spoiler to say, but a particular character returns in part 3?
I would say so.
But
at the same time,
But the
not
shit
really.
that he says and the memes that have
I
come
know.
out of it
I know.
are so damn good.
I know.
That's part 3. But you want to talk about... Alright, I can't believe we're skipping over part 3 because part 3 is like...
Well, we can talk more about part 3.
I just
Yeah.
don't know how much time you have.
Part-
Me neither, apparently.
Like, part three is a big thing.
Fair. Alright, well, okay, let's keep talking about part 3.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want... I'll say this. From what I've seen of the animation, it does get really good around that part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially some of the fight scenes and the... Yeah.
I'm not gonna spoil anything, but a particular fight scene, if you take this version and like the 80s version,
Oh, yeah,
It's-
yeah.
it's different, but it's
I kind
still
of like the
so
80s
good.
version a bit just to see that old style of animation again.
And also the VAs are just, it's more like, at least for Dio,
Oh,
his
yeah.
voice actor is more condescending and more fucking terrifying.
In the sub or dub?
Both.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Like, he's just more fucking terrifying.
okay. Anybody else have anything to say about part 3?
Part 3 was Dominus and Prickle, right?
No, it's
Stardust
Stardust
Crusaders. Which
Oh.
is, I think, the longest.
Oh, that's
It
right.
is
Yeah, that
hard.
is the longest. That's why I'm forgetting.
I got to a point in that part where I just wanted to just quit.
Yeah, I was
I
like, how long is this
understand.
gonna take? Like, just get the fuck over it.
Move on.
Move on.
Academia would be like,
Oh, okay.
Got him.
We gotta talk about that one next time.
Sure.
I
Yeah.
got some things to say about that anime.
Golly.
tune in.
Tune in.
Tune in.
Oh my god. My favorite character, I'm struggling, because
Is it in part 3?
Stardust Crusaders, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
My favorite character would probably be Polnareff. He's just so fucking funny. Like, he's like the weirdest dude. But
He had
like,
the weirdest side mission. Like,
yeah, his side missions were so like fucking like, you're like, alright, like whatever. The show's already weird enough, but like his side missions were just
Yeah.
like, alright, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Also, just to mention, there's a fucking dog with a human face in there.
Yes!
What?
It
I don't
started out
like
as a
this
dog.
anymore.
It started out as
Oh,
a normal
come
dog, but now it's like developed into a man dog. I don't know. It's fucking weird with like
Yeah.
human emotions and shit. And then he started fucking talking. I don't know.
What?
I don't know.
Ruh-roh.
He like.
Yeah, not to spoil it, but like, you actually like, your heart kind of hurts for some of these
Yeah.
characters in this
Yeah.
part. Even though it's a dog, you're like,
Yeah.
I gotta watch this season again. I don't remember him talking.
Bro started fucking.
he,
Bro started Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, no, for real.
Fucking Scooby doing.
yeah.
What the dog do?
What the dog doing?
That is just that is pretty accurate to his character.
What
What
the
the
dog
dog
doing?
doing?
What the dog
Yeah,
doing?
no, literally.
Okay, well, since we're kind of stumbling here on part 3, let's move on to part 4. Do you
Yeah.
want to keep explaining part 4? 'Cause this is
Oh.
the one that you want to talk about. Sorry.
Yes, I think part 4 is officially my favorite.
Yeah.
Basically, it follows Josuke.
Yes. Josuke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the fuck is this?
It's so fucking
This is like
insane.
LSD if it were an anime.
Yeah. Oh
No,
yeah.
it is! That's the perfect way to describe this anime.
I was gonna say Molly the show.
Anyways, we have Josuke who has a stand because he is a Joestar,
Yeah.
and like when what is it? I can't tell you how he got the stand. Okay. Anyways, he has a stand.
Felt that.
He has a stand, and you know, he's doing high school stuff, and then Jotaro just kind of pulls up and is like, "You're a Joestar,"
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
and
That's
then
literally.
That's how it goes.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
and then they start meeting more people with stands because if you have a stand, you're gonna meet someone with another stand.
Yeah.
Stand.
cool.
It's like they mentioned this. I don't know what part, but like stand users, no stand users, or something
That's
like
the
that.
third part.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It's
All right.
The worst thing about the show is it's so hard not to spoil this shit because you have to explain so much stuff to get to a
Yeah.
certain like
We are
topic.
trying, damn it. We're
I
gonna
know,
make an effort.
it's- oh,
so
God.
hard, man.
I feel like I'm gonna go to sleep, and then I'm gonna wake up, unfortunately, and then I'm going to not even know if this actually happened or not.
That's
I'm
the
like-
Yeah.
That's the whole show.
This
You
is
watch
like-
the whole show and you're
this-
like,
Yeah.
am I alive?
There's gonna be like a misty presence
Uh-huh.
in my brain where this memory should be, and I'm just be like,
Yeah.
Josuke?
Did this happen?
Josuke?
Yeah. All right. So where are we at? Part 4. You
Yes,
still have more to talk about?
I just want to say this part is really weird. There's like you get
Now it gets weird.
well, I mean,
It gets worse.
It gets
It
worse.
Oh,
gets
okay,
worse.
It gets
okay.
worse.
and then you get to part 5, and it gets even worse. And then you get to part 6, and you're like, what?
Okay.
What?
That's just like, yeah, the show just escalates. You think it can get any like more outrageous and absurd, and it somehow tops itself.
All right.
Yeah.
Do you say that it goes down in quality, or is it just like the content just gets weirder?
The content.
The content.
It just
Oh,
gets
okay.
weirder.
Okay.
Quality's good. It's just the content gets.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Is this? I'm gonna ask because I just kind of want to get a general review of the show right now as we're talking about it. I can't get into this show because it's been overhyped to me.
That's fair.
Because like I watched the first 2 seasons, it didn't really grab me because of just how bizarre it is. And I'm okay with bizarre stuff, but I just didn't feel like the show grabbed me in its bizarre nature because the editing, the pacing, it's just not my kind of cup of tea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's why I kind of just dropped out of this show after a while. But I still respect the community because it is like one of those, like, if you like this, you like this.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I've understood from people. Is like, it's a very niche anime.
You have to have the dedication to sit down and actually
Yeah.
figure it out.
Okay.
Because
And
if you're,
actually
if
watch
you,
it.
s- yeah, if you sit down and you like try to go in and like analyze it, like you're not gonna like it. Okay. If you sit down and watch it and you're like, oh, it's probably not that weird, but then it has bizarre in the fucking name, so
I
it's
know,
gonna be weird.
I know.
So like you gotta like think like, oh, this is probably gonna be some weird stuff. Like
But it's kind of like that thing where it's like, okay, like, prove it to me. How bizarre are you?
I think it's the anticipation of like, when does it get weird?
Oh, okay. Well, I mean,
Or-
as we said, the first episode is pretty fucking out there.
Yeah, but like I think later seasons are pretty.
Oh,
pretty,
yeah.
Yeah.
You just have to
that's
have
when
like
it starts to get
the
weird.
dedication and the time to sit down because one episode can take a lot out of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I just wanted to ask that question and just get a general review of the show. Do you still have more to talk about with part 4, or do we want to move on to part 5?
I just want to say there's just one episode. I don't even think this counts as a spoiler because it has nothing to do with the plot in any way, shape, or form. The main characters just meet an alien.
Yeah.
Just
Yes!
straight up.
Literally. Why?
What?
There's like for like an episode and a half, this man is here. You think he's gonna be part of the like plot, the main plot of the show? He's not. He just shows up. You're like, well, what the fuck am I watching this show for?
He just appears and never appears again. And it's like, you introduced aliens and you didn't even do anything with it.
Screen
I
time.
kind of
is,
love
like,
that, though. That's
zero.
kind of funny.
Which is why the show is just so like. It's like a headache.
You know, as like
It
an
is.
outsider, quote unquote,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
this show sounds like a social experiment.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
like
It
they
is.
just like threw it at you, and they're like, I wonder if like we throw this, like how fucked up like can we make this shit so like
Yeah.
people like
It's
start
very
like,
much that kind of show where it's just like,
Yeah.
how far can we like test our audience?
how far
Let's just
can we
introduce
push
an alien.
humanity?
6
Yeah.
parts is how far
6
they've got.
parts.
Especially when you
Yeah.
consider that this anime is coming out of Japan, which is
Yeah.
a very like black and white country,
Yeah.
and it's like
Okay.
society
what do you mean
standard.
by that?
Okay, so like
That's a weird door to open.
society wise, it's
Okay.
like some things so when you look at Japan past the kawaii Harajuku
Well, that's,
anime,
there's like soft power, but that's a
Yeah.
whole different.
yeah,
thing.
there's some underlying stuff considering Japan's society and what they consider okay and not okay, like so like they're very for lack of a better phrase, like prim and proper kind of, and they
Oh,
believe in
okay.
like pulling yourself together and like composure.
It's a
Not conservative.
It's a very
but-
collectivist society.
Yeah.
Okay.
In the sense that like there's a saying that like the nail that sticks out will get hammered down, meaning like if you try to express your individuality or like stray from the crowd, you'll get put back in, because that's just like this is like society and the rules and stuff. So
Mm.
So like the fact that like I'm hearing about like such a really random
Weird
and
Yeah.
bizarre show that's coming out of that, it's kind of like, which is what honestly, like, to go like on a really side note, why I think anime is so cool
Mhm.
that they even like allow that. But I feel like anime is so big that like they couldn't even shut it down if they wanted to at this
Mhm.
point. But like a lot of anime, like Your Lie in April and all that kind of stuff, talk about like issues that aren't really welcome to talk about in Japan.
Mhm.
So like,
Well, it's just how art is anyway.
Yeah.
Just in general, it's like art is an expression of how what that someone wants to tell, something that someone is going through. So yeah, I mean, like, and I guess with the creator of this show, he was just like, I just want to make something that I would enjoy, that I think is fun, and incorporates everything that I like. So he's clearly a fan of like old school adventure anime and just Western rock and roll.
Yeah.
So I think he was just like, why not just make something for me? And then
maybe he
if people
was
like it.
on LSD when he was writing
Maybe.
the show.
That too.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know. Who knows?
This shit gets weird.
Now we're on part 5.
Part 5.
Who wants to talk about part 5?
I'm
Because
not
we've
there
had-
yet.
oh,
Oh, sorry.
I guess I could talk a
I'll
little
go
bit
for
about it.
I know what happens.
So
Well, we're not gonna do spoilers. We're just doing
I'm
a general overview.
So part 5 is Golden Experience, I believe is the English name.
I thought it was Golden Wind.
Yeah, it's golden.
Golden Wind. Well, the translations are like interesting, but it's like Golden Wind, Gold Experience or something.
Okay.
So Dio has a son. Clap. That's a spoiler. But
I mean,
you're
you're gonna find out.
You're gonna
eventually.
find
gonna
out.
find
We're
out
gonna find out
anyway. But
eventually.
basically, his son is nothing like Dio, because we've talked about Dio is fucking crazy, like out of his mind, bonkers. But yeah, his son he's not a Joestar, but he's
Oh, is it because of his? Is it because of what stuff in part 1? Because he technically lived under Joestar name. I could be wrong, and that's okay.
I don't know. He's technically a Joestar, but not by blood.
Oh, okay.
It's like half of Joestar.
It's
like yeah.
time to piss off the internet. It's like Ray.
Oh. Okay, keep going.
It's like Ray Skywalker.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
boy.
Ooh.
Time to piss off the internet. All right, moving
Yeah.
on.
But yeah, and so this takes place in Italy. Hence the name Giorno. Is very Italian, and he meets a bunch of these guys who are part of this like alliance or something, and they work for like the boss, and the boss turns out to be like this dude is like fucking insane, like he's like crazy, and so they end up like sort of like a escort mission for like the daughter of the main head, and she's fine, whatever, I don't know. She's whatever. And so they escort her all the way to him, only for them to find out that he is really, like, he's fucking crazy, and, like, they need to get rid of him. So there's just a whole, that's, like, the main plot, essentially, and there are a bunch of side stories with quirky villains and stuff, so
Okay.
Yeah, they're
that's,
like
the general basis.
they're like joining like the mafia or something.
No, yeah,
What the
I
fuck?
think it is
Yeah.
the mafia.
Yeah,
they
it's-
do.
They're like
'Cause
gangsters.
why
and
not?
stuff.
Yeah, they just start doing. Yeah.
Now, question: Is this?
I literally feel like I'm gonna throw up. Like, what is happening?
I don't know, man.
Aliens
Question:
and mafia?
Is this the part where they have the wine sipping and they kick the shit out of that one dude?
Yep.
Yep.
What
Okay.
is what?
There's so many memes that have come out of this show.
I've seen
Yeah.
that meme.
From each part.
Now this is like
Part.
part 2 is where I ended off. So like I haven't seen anything past this point. I've just seen the memes, and the memes are hilarious.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
Meme
But-
culture at its finest.
Yeah, but
Mwah.
I really like this one because it's a different change of pace. I don't know if it's the location or whatever, but like the colors seem they're very bright. Like it's a brighter palette.
Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful. The designs are so pretty.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's all I really have to say about part 5. It's
Pretty good.
pretty good.
Okay.
Also, I don't know if like the listeners know, but the art style kind of changes every part.
Oh, it does?
Yeah, the art after after part 2,
Mhm.
completely different art style.
Oh, it's same company, isn't it? Anybody can help answer that question? Or is it like the artist from the manga just started drawing differently and they were like, well, we have to adapt that?
I have no.
I don't know. I just know like once you get to like part 5, it's like drastically different.
Yeah, really.
Once
is.
you get to like part 3 is when
Your brain hurts.
there is a lot of filler. This
Yeah.
is an anime that's like really big on filler.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Like there will be episodes that have nothing to do with it.
Hence the alien episode you mentioned earlier.
part 3 and part 4 is are like the ones with like mostly filler. Where part 3 is mostly them just going from place to place, and part 4 is, I don't even know what's up with that. The plot doesn't kick in until like, what was that? The real antagonist doesn't get introduced until like a good portion of the anime
Yeah.
is
Okay.
gone through,
Yeah.
and I think I don't really know.
It's
Alright.
just Josuke and
So-
his funny antics.
The
Yeah.
art style changes
Yeah.
Yeah.
because
It's kind of like an anthology show.
for me, like, aesthetics are a lot of it. Like, if my eyes don't like what they're seeing, I'm not gonna want to watch it.
Well, if you want to talk about hot man.
I don't know.
There's a weird thing
I've
going on
seen
with this
some of the
episode.
pictures, and I'm not inclined in any way.
Mm.
But
Yeah, that's fair. That's one of the first things that kind of turns people off, is the art style.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel like part 1's art style is very, like, it's fine.
It's fine, but
Like, that would probably turn someone off into not watching the show, but, like, part 2, I say part 4 has, like, that and part 5 have really good art designs. Because part 4 just feels very, like retro. It's in the, it takes place in the 90s.
1999.
So it's the 90s, so the color palette is very, like, neon. And then part 5, I think, is my favorite art style.
Mhm.
I don't. Well, as I've been watching anime for many, many, many years, so I just feel like I'm not so shallow as to the point that like I won't watch it simply just because of the art style. But like for me, like the art style for like Attack on Titan is good enough. Like I think
Yeah.
it's good, but like the plot, I just couldn't click with it at all. So I'll definitely try it.
Okay.
It's fun.
It's fun.
It's fun.
Yeah, it's fun. I just kind of lost interest after a while. That's why I'm just want to talk about it and just see what people may like about it.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
Um,
Have you made it to part 6?
Yeah, I
Alright.
finished part 6 already.
all right, so how about we just
Character,
we're
I
gonna
mean,
cut here and
yeah.
we're gonna like wait for Donovan to come back and talk about part 6.
yeah. Well, we can talk about our favorite characters so far.
Dio.
I guess.
100%. One, because I love the actual band Dio. 2, man's batshit crazy.
He's in fucking
He's
crazy.
crazy, and I don't know what it is.
I don't know what is in his blood besides vampire blood, but like
Yeah.
this man is like when you think of the word like insane, like Dio is like the standard for crazy people.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, if
Yeah.
I were to like so far I haven't seen so much of the show, but if I had to pick a favorite character, it would have to be Speedwagon.
Speedwagon!
He's just fun. Like the first episode with him in his little hat, that
Yeah.
was really cool. He was just very loyal, and I kind of like that about that character. But
Yeah.
that's the character that stuck out for me. Also, who was like the first JoJo's teacher? What was the name of him? The one that goes like, "Yeah, baby."
Baron Zeppelin.
Yes, the
Zeppelin.
Pelly, bro.
After Led Zeppelin.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby. Yeah. Shit's just weird. He was just like so again weird, but like I like that character too.
You're like, who is this goofy ass dude?
You can think about a lot when the sub like tries to like talk in like an English American accent and it
Yes.
the baseball episode. No, it was the gambling episode in part 3.
Yes.
Mr. Joester.
Mr. Joester. Ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
Ridiculous. What? This is what he looked at.
Quite.
Yeah.
Look up
That's my favorite character.
Jotaro.
you're gonna.
That's
I was
a
gonna
good
say another
choice.
character I'm literally in love with is Kujo Jotaro. That man is sexy as fuck, bro. I'm in love with this man. Oh, you see him. Yeah. This is like the first face that I've like first like
Oh,
put.
yeah.
Like there's a meme where it's like Jotaro.
Deal.
Oh, like that's from part 3. Like
Spoiler.
Yeah.
sorry, I
Too
mean
bad.
there are memes. I've seen like the memes enough. I didn't even remember where they came from, so I watched the show again. But
You can't
You
talk about
can't.
certain things without explaining
I
something.
thought
that
we
happened
could, but
before.
apparently our show is not that good enough
You
to.
can't
no,
avoid it.
literally, you could probably without watching the show, just figure out from spoilers how the story.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I'm able to follow. Like I could kind of be like, oh yeah, I buy that there's an alien randomly.
It's like spoilers and memes. Probably.
Yeah. The memes of this, like the culture around this show is just, it could be very annoying and it could be very like fun and like inviting. The annoying side is like the people that just go, is that a JoJo reference?
God,
So
every fucking
everything.
TikTok, bro, I look in the comments, I'm like, is that a JoJo reference? And I'm like, do you touch grass? Do you go outside? Do you breathe air? Like, don't fuck off. Like, God.
Touch grass.
Like, we get the joke. You're like,
Yeah.
it's beating a dead horse, bro.
It's
Yeah,
kind of like with the
yeah.
Dragon Ball community and just them going like, but can he beat Goku though? And I'm just like,
No, that's
shut
so
the fuck
annoying.
up.
That
Shut
gets
up.
on my nerves.
But
Oh,
besides the point, who's your favorite character?
My favorite character is actually from part 6.
So we could have him talk about part
Oh,
6.
yeah.
I haven't finished part 6.
You can talk
I'm
about
like,
like what you've
fuck.
seen so
I'm
far.
like in the first maybe 3 or 4 episodes.
Well, good. That could kind of give us like what's the plot of it so far.
Okay, in part 6, there's this girl named is it Hermes or Hermes?
It's pronounced Odemese, but I think it's Hermes
Okay.
in English.
I don't know. She can freaking throw hands.
Yeah, the bitch is
That's-
crazy.
Is this girl a JoJo?
No.
No,
no.
she's not.
This isn't the first female JoJo?
No,
Well-
that's Jolene.
That's part 7.
No,
That's-
that's still part
It's
6.
part 6.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
part 6, Jotaro has a daughter, and she has powers because, again, she's a Joestar.
Mhm.
So, she did some, well, I can't spoil it, but she's in jail for a reason. So, you find some quirky characters in there, but one of them is
So this is the season of Orange is the New Black.
Yeah.
essentially, yeah. And one of the characters is Hermes, or Hermes, or whatever the fuck, but like, I can't spoil it because there's just so much going on. But
Alright. Well, this is the most recent season.
the most
too.
recent season,
Okay.
so I'm not gonna say much.
I probably should have asked this like when we started, but what the fuck is a Joestar?
That's the name of the family.
It's the name of the
Yeah.
family, like the
It's
family,
a last name.
Yeah.
That's
family
stupid.
lineage and
Like
shit.
what?
It's like every part starts out with like a new Joestar, and they have like
Like their
powers.
full name is Joestar.
That's
Mhm.
like
That's
their
their last
surname.
name.
Last
yeah.
name.
So like it's Jotaro Joestar.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's why they-
Kujo Jotaro is his name, but he's a Joestar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So his nickname would be Jojo.
It changes like the
Yeah.
blood. Like it's still a bloodline, but they still like switch it up a little bit. It's like it gets switched up after like part 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that's when Jotaro comes in, and then he's a different name.
The names are different, but they're still Joestars. Like they have Joestar blood in them.
Yeah.
I don't know if I was dissociating during this part, but like they
It's a lot to
don't
follow.
have powers.
They do.
do.
They
Oh.
all
Yeah,
do.
they do.
Alright, so that's all we're talking about part 6 is just that?
Yeah, because
That's
Okay.
like
that's
For
the
right
most
now.
recent.
Yeah. Okay, so has it ended so far?
No.
I think there's another.
There's another part coming.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm just asking, has this arc or season ended? Or is it still going on right now?
I know it's still going in the manga, but I don't know what they're gonna do with the show.
Okay. Well, I guess we can wrap up our talk about JoJo. Is there any like last minute conclusion stuff anybody wants to say about the series as a whole? Like anything you want to say about like, I don't know, the voice acting, the animation? We kind of already talked about all that, but still, if there's any like highlighted things anybody want
The
briefly
first
talk about?
2 seasons, I would recommend the dub. only because they're British.
Yep.
You can't fuck up a British accent. So, you can't. There's no way they could have made that
Disagreed.
bad. It wasn't that bad, but like I didn't like the dub from like part 3 and then on. So I just
Okay.
watched the sub. But like when you watch the sub, then you just get the memes. Like
Yeah.
you get the memes.
I watched the sub, so yeah, I saw a lot of the memes.
Yeah.
I only saw part of part 2 in dub because apparently the main actor for Jojo was number 1 in Codename Kids Next Door.
Yo, dead ass.
Yeah,
Oh my
seriously.
god.
Yeah.
Oh,
wait.
it just clicked now.
I just did. Wait, what?
So you remember the
And
Codename
the
Kids Next Door
Have you seen that Cartoon Network?
Cartoon Network show? It's not an anime. The
It
kid is
sounds-
bald.
He's
The
got
kid-
like
He's kind of got like a Stewie Griffin head.
yeah.
Who the fuck is Stewie Griffin?
Oh, Lord.
Family Guy?
No, we're done.
We're done.
We're done. You can't keep going with this.
No, my mom. Guys.
Conversation is
My
ended.
mom didn't let me watch like iCarly, the Wizards of Waverly Plays, because she told me it would make me stupid. And I still turned out like this. So really, what did that do? Nothing, Mom. Just trauma. Just trauma. That's all that woman gave me.
Damn.
Wow.
No, iCarly?
Yeah.
I watched it on the DL, but like only
Oh,
when
okay.
Mom was gone.
That's fair. That's fair.
It-
But so therefore I didn't watch all of it though.
Wow.
Wow.
Hannah Montana.
You literally have an anime backstory. Traumatic childhood.
Yeah.
You're just going
You are
through
the main
villain arc right
character.
now.
It only goes downhill.
Yeah.
Only.
Only.
You probably wouldn't have ended up in this situation. Like the record scratch.
Yeah, that's me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm more of a
This episode is brought to you by
subtitle
mental trauma.
and also therapy.
Seek
And therapy.
Therapy's for everybody. Anyway.
Therapy is too
Seek
expensive.
therapist.
I'm not going to get into my stuff on air. But
Wow.
Oh, Lord.
I'm on the other side of the aisle where I like the sub version better.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just because I'm taking Japanese. I'm a Japanese major, so it's interesting to see how the Japanese translates over into English, because Netflix is known for fucking up like translations into English. So for some of the references, I was like, is that like, why is it like, for some of the stand names, I'm like, why is it different?
Yeah.
But it's interesting. It's a learning experience, but it's also fun, I guess.
Okay. Yeah. Is that all we have to say about JoJo, or is there one more thing anybody wants to say?
That is it.
Zahando.
Zahando.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a fun show.
It's
It's
fun.
I'll agree.
It's
It's
not
fun.
meant to be taken seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just have, my friends have pushed this show on me to the point where I
Yeah.
just like can't get into it.
And
because
if-
it's just
yeah.
literally like, it's overhyped for me.
Yeah.
And if the overhype is like something that doesn't get you into the show, then that's totally fine.
Yeah, that's
like I
fair.
get it, because again, you can watch the show with like, you know, just on spoilers and shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but like, if you really want to like just watch it for yourself to see like what's up, just like watch an episode.
Mhm.
Not even the full season.
Yeah.
Like just watch one.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, if that's all, I think we're going to wrap this episode up. This has been another episode of $1 Million Media. I'm your host, Max Kellerhalls, and with me today I had...
Aleah. If you want to learn more Japanese or just, you know, hang with the Japanese crew, we have Japanese lunch table on every Wednesday from 11:45 until whenever in the caf. And Japanese newspaper. Our last issue, right? Our last issue, we're working on it right now, so it should be out the 1st of May.
I'm Karin, so it was so fun to talk about anime. And I'm from Japan, so I'm very happy that many people are getting more interested in Japanese anime. So if you like anime, please come to Japan. So in Japan, we have a lot of anime shops and we have a lot of anime events. So please come to Japan.
Okay.
Yeah,
Awesome.
that's all.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I got to go to Japan. All right.
My name is John. It was a fun time talking here.
All right.
I don't got much else to say. It was just cool. I got to talk about the Fate hole very briefly. That was a short version.
Spark notes.
Yeah, Spark Notes version of Fate.
The very crappy spark.
No, it was hard to describe.
It's like the, you know, like how sometimes you get like the note card That was like that was that was a note card version of it.
Ice.
Donovan.
Kyah.
Yeah, that was it. Please, if you're listening to this on Wave Radio, please give our other shows a quick listen to. If you're listening to this on my YouTube channel, please like, share, and subscribe. And yeah, have a nice day.